Before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel. Link in the description. Make sure you check him out for all your cards, supplies, and everything you need to play this game. He's the best. And with that out of the way, enjoy the video.
Prices are down, and the support is up. Did EB08, My Glorious Justice, save my clan? Stick around. Alright fans, so My Glorious Justice is just out in English, and we're here today to discuss, did this set manage to save my clan? And we're going to keep it kind of an open-ended discussion, I think. If we want to discuss it, we'll go clan by clan, and then just kind of wrap up and just give a quick thumbs up, thumbs down in regards to, was it saved, how did it do? So first things first, let's start out with our good boys, the Pirates of the Caribbean. We got... Cocytus?
Cocytus?
Yeah, Cocytus? Cocytus?
Cockatoo! Anyway, that icy guy who brings back dudes.
Yes, indeed. And Matt, what do you think about Grand Blue as the Grand Blue player here on this couch? How did you feel it got with EB08?
So all the reveals came out, and I think we all had our fair share of oohs and ahs and gasps, because this set was honestly pretty fire, like card by card, day by day.
Yeah.
We had a great time. But after I finally got my hands on Grand Blue, I can pretty much safely say that 12 crit or not, you're going to have a great time with Grand Blue.
Okay.
With the support you've received between Greedshade and Cocytus, I'm not going to say it's tier 0, because it's not. You're still playing Grand Blue in the end, all right? You're still going to mill everything you need eventually.
Curb your expectations.
Exactly. But I can definitely say that as far as having a great time and still being pretty consistent, it's definitely come around on its own. Because that mill 4 lets you hit those thresholds. I did not think I would ever be playing Scare Dick, but I've been popping them out pretty consistently, hitting people with 54 lines with crit 2. It's just not okay.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the consistency has definitely been upped a lot, and the aggression just when you add those extra 4 crits, cannot be understated. It was very solid.
A huge boon for that deck to be able to play the grade 1 PGs, because having a cycle that's useful because you use your drop zone, and then just being able to open up, I just got more threat in my trigger zone is pretty damn good. Damn good.
Yeah, by the way, if you bought Gus gens, feel bad for
you.
Even the people who stocked up on Basskirks, I know those were a hot item for a moment. And then you realize that all the lists are running 1 to 2, maybe.
Yeah.
You can run more. If you see yourself like, I'm going to deck out soon, ride a Basskirk, call a Skull Dragon, do what you used to do, but it's hard to argue with 32 base crit 2 just for your Vanguard swing.
Oh yeah.
It's all about Cocytus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you've got, not to undersell, Rough Seas Banshees as well. You got your sweet draw engine in the back. You've also got people are running Frankendaddy again. Violence Flanger. Or Flanger? Yeah.
Whatever you call them.
For that instant kill turn. I mean, the toolboxing on it is great because Greedshade opens up all those doors. I remember Brax and Tiz were playing the other night. Brax puts down 2 shades, adjusts his hand accordingly, and kills him with the Frankenstein.
Oh yeah. That's I think. It was all well and obvious that the VR added a ton to this clan because the VR is the VR, and you always kind of consider those to be the centerpiece of what's coming out for the support. What do you think, Matt, was the other card in this set that really added the most to Grand Blue? Like, if there was one you would pick out to be like, damn, that was a good card that we got in Grand Blue, which one would you pick?
My namesake. It's gotta be Greedshade.
Gotta be Greedshade? Alright.
Because the hand adjustment, it's for whatever you need, and you can put it down as early as turn 2.
Yeah.
You adjust it, you grab PGs, you grab ride pieces, you grab Ruin Shades back for aggression, you grab and if you're sitting pretty, grab a Romario, get a bigger booster.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It even goes to win more, but it's also so essential for making that deck run as smoothly as it does now.
Okay, awesome. Well then, with that, how do we say it? Did EB08 save my clan? Grand Blue Edition. Thumbs up?
I would say yeah.
I'd give it a thumbs up.
I think a thumbs
honestly,
up.
Honestly, strong. Don't underestimate 12 crit ever. It's very strong because they just keep coming, and I mean, just has what it needs, and solid.
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't like a bust the thing wide open, you know, like Bermuda is just everywhere now, Grand Blue. But it's just like, I got very solid support, and I'm happy. Kind of thing. You know, I'm going to top, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, one thing also, like, me and Tiz were mentioning, just I think off camera, but like, I really like almost decking out every game because it makes everything more exciting. Every game is down to the wire.
The suspense.
And you can pull out double scare deck or a dragon on the side that'll end up being about 80,000 just because your deck's gone.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how often it's going to come down to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you Cocytus every turn, it on top of like Cocytus into a Greed Shade, that's 6 cards into your drop every turn.
Yeah.
So you'll hit those thresholds faster than you think, and it's a lot of fun. So
awesome. All right, well, taking it from there, Ken, Aquaforce, dropping his thing. Matt has also been a stalwart Aquaforce player as well, but I'm going to take you here to lead this discussion and let us know what you think.
So honestly, I think EB08 did a lot for Aquaforce. Like, our first set support, you know, people were definitely underwhelmed with Maelstrom. And
that's
then,
an understatement.
you know, getting Algos that's a restander, and then getting Tidal that's a restander, and then you're just like, what is happening? Like, and then Diamantes was a restander, and then you're like, Riptide Dragon, like, what? Like, whew. So
that's a hell of a common, by the way.
But this set, we've really got things that just help out the deck. You know.
Yeah.
You know, some honorable mentions: Calm Assault, like good card. Soul Blast 1, give. You know, I think it's 2 units, 5k, or maybe 1 unit, 5k. I believe it's just for third and fourth battle. But it's like, and I do think it's actually 1. That's numbers. You know, numbers that Maelstrom needs. But like, the big players here and the support we got, you know, kind of pushing away Glory right now is Coral and Wheel. Wheel's a fantastic card. Getting, you know, cards out of your hand, drawing a card, so cycling, but actually calling things, like calling a Riptide early is really strong. And then being able to fix your board state as well as, you know, help out with the Glory turn. And then Coral Assault. Like,
that was my favorite part, honestly, was the Storm Riders back in old Aquaforce. That's why I loved old Diamantes. The swapping was my favorite part, and Wheel Assault definitely brought that back.
Yeah. And then it's like Coral Assault, like, listen, you make fun of normal Maelstrom all you want, but Coral Assault makes normal Maelstrom very, very strong. Like, you can't just scoff at it now. Because you swing Coral Assault, even if it's on Excel 2, that's 29.
Yeah, he's a beefy guy.
He's going to go in and cycle, assuming you need it.
Yeah.
And so, those are really strong cards. And I know people and how they feel about Glory. I think Glory is in there, and he definitely makes the deck. Like, Counterblast 1, 10k to all the front row. Like, my God. And then the Garter Strict. Oh boy. I mean, I would say this EB08 did a really good number for Aquaforce.
Yeah. That's a really important thing I think you bring up, was that I think even more so than Grand Blue, Glory kind of stole all the glory, you know, the intended and whatnot, because of just kind of how flashy that effect was. You know, to have this thing that's just like, you can only guard with 1 card. And so suddenly, everyone's just like, but fronts. Hello. This is an interesting concept with this card that I just got. And it's a real threat, in my opinion, that guy, when he does his thing.
I mean, a lot of people who've been talking in, like, the Aquaforce Discord, shout out to people like Zay, like Wave Nation, Card Fight King, you know, even Solemn Vanguard, we've been theory crafting a lot.
Sure.
And, you know, it just really comes down to, like, this deck is solid. It still needs, like, more of a draw. So if you look at, like, Aquaforce compared to Novas draw a lot more and cycle a lot more than Aquaforce does. But when you have the pieces, you could just even go Excel 1 and just blow somebody out.
Yeah.
Especially when you know you have the Glory turn, it's just like, they just don't know what to do. And so the support is strong. It's not something you need to scoff at. And I get that people are upset about Maelstrom, but, like, it's a mechanic that's good today, and if Bushiroad actually does what I think they'll do and release a defensive mechanic, which is more for a separate video, Glory will just get brushed aside at some point.
Sure.
But, like, I feel like it's right in that perfect threshold of powerful now, easy to get power crept out as the game progresses.
Yeah, or could still be relevant, depending on how they treat it.
Sure, but I'm like, it's still decent now, and that's what matters.
Yeah, definitely.
Even then, you can make a revision instead of getting power crept out, Glory might just hang around. We might get a new Maelstrom just to keep it in the soul.
Right, yeah.
And then you're still sitting on this very powerful guard restrict. There was several occasions, both free playing and in tournament, just last night at our locals, where I had 10, 15, at one point 20 cards in hand just because my opponent G-assisted. I was playing grapplers. I hit every single shout in a row.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there like living pretty, and I just died at 3 damage because he hit the front trigger, and at a point you can't guard it. Like, just mathematically, you cannot guard the numbers. And it's stuff like that really just rips a game from me that kind of makes you think like, this is a contender.
Another thing that we've always talked about, once again, in those Aquaforce Discords is Aquaforce was kind of really built around fronts. Like, you just see that the deck is always built around fronts. Like, the Glory Turn on its own with the plus 10k is fine. And yeah, with Riptide and with Coral, you can hit those numbers that make it guardable. But a front makes almost everything unguardable.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they really did make Aquaforce and build it around fronts.
Yes.
Because OG Maelstrom, in EB02, if you hit a front on the Maelstrom turn, I mean, it was tough for people to guard, and they like almost had to let it go. So it's like we've always been around fronts. I hope at some point we switch to crits, but
I think it's nice though for an Excel deck to use the trigger. That's kind of for
Built
Excel.
for
It works out pretty well in that regard.
So in conclusion, I'm very happy. I love the deck. I love to see my boy Wheel Assault back because man, he did work back in BT13.
Yeah.
And he's doing work now again.
Art's also really nice on that card. I really
nice.
like the look of the new ones.
Very, very clean.
All right. So in conclusion, did EB08 save Aquaforce? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I would say thumbs up.
Yeah.
Definitely changed the plan.
I'm gonna give it a diagonal thumb up.
All right, so kind of almost a thumbs up.
Not a sideways, not an up, but give it right there.
All right.
I like where they went. It's a good direction.
I think so. I think that's a good, measured opinion in regards to it, because it wasn't a complete home run, because I think that you were saying in some regards of draw can still sometimes be an issue in the clan and a couple other pieces, but for 9 times out of 10, I think they really got it right in regards to it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good summary on that one. So the final one, D-Police, robots. Jose should really be in the spot right here where I'm sitting, but I'm going to be taking that lead because it's D-Police, and I'm pretty sure I could just discuss about it.
How bad could it be?
Yeah, that's right. What did that clan used to do? Just die guys or win the game. So, here we go. We're going to discuss D-Police, and I think they actually got some really solid support in this set.
Oh, yeah.
Once more, kind of headlining this with Die Liner. I promise I'm not just using line and headline and glory for glory and stuff like that. It just seems to be working out really well. But that card just completely wiped the floor with Great Dayusha. The small, or wait, Dayusha. Dayusha is the small one. Yeah, regular Dayusha is the grade 3. And then Great Dayusha is the bigger form. And so he kind of just went goodbye now. And then Daizaris came in as now a new rearguard grade 3 support. And you're now up to 12 grade 3s because Liner just changed the deck to say you need it to be around me as a card. So I think out of the 3, this was the most VR centric, if that makes sense, of the support.
Which has always been DI.
Yeah. Or DP, you mean?
Yeah. I'm sorry, DP.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Scoff at DI.
But the fact that a problem D-Police always had was you run back in the day, you're running Die Kaiser. You have a bunch of 3s in your deck and you want them in your deck and they wind up in your hand and you can't guard and you lose.
Yeah.
Now Die Liner changes it.
Yeah, that's right.
Changes it all.
You get what, 10k for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says,
That's
what about
really
if you had?
solid.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's right. So now you have just 12 or 11 other utility grade 3s in your clan. And that's really damn good when you need them to be shield. The rest of the support as well is just really damn good. Is it Platinum Ace or Diamond Ace? I can never remember the name of the
Platinum
character.
Ace.
Platinum
Platinum
Ace.
Ace.
Yeah, Platinum Ace. The dude that looks like a stand.
Yeah.
And he's also just a really damn solid rearguard. You have crits coming out the wazoo in this deck on all of your different units. You can give it even more when you have Force 2 getting involved in there. So you could just be I'm threatening 3 damage all the time on every unit that's about to attack you.
Yeah.
And that's pretty damn hard because there's never an occasion where you could just say, oh, I'm going to take the 1 damage. So I can have the CB. It's I'm going to take all the damage and die and hope for the heal so that I can actually have some things to do for my next turn.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really good, or a really strong position to find yourself in. I think the the grade 1s were fairly decent as well. They got the
Glory
quilt.
Maker, though.
Yeah, Glory Maker as well as some pretty
That's, I
spice.
think, probably my favorite grade 1 of the set. Just being able to just get Sentinels out of there. Well, it's okay for me. I've been playing a lot of Grand Blue.
Yeah.
So Jose's just kind of looking at me like with hungry eyes, like as I sit here with my grade 1 PGs, like back in the old days.
Yeah.
So that's definitely effective.
Oh yeah, 100%. And just everything I feel works pretty seamlessly. I think again we have one major drawback in terms of you have to screw with your ratios with this deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not something to be underestimated in something like Cardfight Vanguard, where it's very easy for you to just be like, well, damn, I guess I'm going to be ditching my hand to a G-Assist now this next game in
How
a
many
row,
grade
you know?
2s am I stuck running? Like,
Yeah, and that was actually something that Jose had a lot of problems with yesterday, was he just, every time he was mulling, and it was just like, man, I got a G-Assist yet again. You know, it would be like the third game out of like 5 we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was probably just like a swing of bad luck in regards to that. It shouldn't really be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But you're definitely swinging yourself more towards the miswriting side of things,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
Than you are on the other side of the spectrum. And I think that's honestly a fair trade-off, given what the clan is trying
Yeah.
to do, you know? Like, it shouldn't just be able to have your cake and eat it too.
yeah.
So this is kind of a good balancing mechanic, quote-unquote. Maybe not the most fair thing or something that's not super fun for the player, but at least keeps the power level from going way out of line.
But then you need to ask yourself, was it ever fair and balanced when I'm playing Deep Lease? No.
Yeah, that's right.
You are playing to blow someone out of the water. Look, I mean, Great Dayusha comes out of nowhere. God forbid they draw that card. You don't see them damage check it or drive check it. Like, that's just gonna sit on your face. And then that Die Dragon over there you weren't paying attention to is now really, really not okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's always the thing that, like, you haven't seen the Great Dayusha,
Yeah.
but there's an open CB right across the table, and you're like, oh no, is it going to happen? Is it going to be here? So, yeah, I think to go to the meta aspect of things, of the 3 of these clans, Deep Police has performed the best right now. At least in regards to the Japan meta, we haven't really had much time, obviously, yet in English to see how it's doing.
Right.
Deep Police has had some really good, strong showings. Up there with Bermudic Triangle, up there with Link Joker, it's kind of joined the fold of, here's another big force meta
The
of good
force
force things.
meta.
Yeah. So enjoy your force.
Remember our year of Force discussion?
Yeah. So, yeah, Force Winter. So, did EB08 save Dimension Police? I really think this was like a resounding yes.
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
brought that clan right into the meta.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like crept out, honestly. Like,
Right down
they
the
just
line.
kind of, yeah.
They really
just-
lined them up. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
All the die lining?
Mm-hmm.
God,
there it is. Yeah. So, all in all, I think My Glorious Justice actually did a really great job with these 3 clans.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you might have, like, oh yeah, there was the main character clan that got great support, and everyone else just kind of got left to the wayside. Sometimes you have, like, 2 out of 3, and then one clan really got shafted, you know, and then you're...
Your uncle.
Yeah, that's right. And so, it was really nice to see and refreshing to see that Bushiroad actually did really well in regards to the 3 clans. Like, obviously there could have been some things done better, and, you know, a little bit of a difference in another thing, but by and large, I thought it was a really great set for an extra booster of not main character clans.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think. If you have anything else to add.
No, I'm totally in agreement with that because, like, Jose and I, like, there was a very long drought between Dote coming out.
Yeah.
Where we were sitting here, like, I finally got grapplers, which kind of put me a little back in the high spirits. But then we got this, and both of us were like, we're supporting everything we love right now.
Yeah.
It was just such like a breath of fresh air to see something new, especially from clans like Aquas and Grand Blue, which were so just like, just get them out of here. You can't even look at playing them before this set.
Yeah.
So saving them for them, I think, is an understatement.
Oh yeah, that's right. They really got put to the wayside. Like, we were only the most dedicated of players who were really going to be bringing those to anything that wasn't, you know, I guess just playing casuals with your friends or something like that.
Now you might see them in a tournament setting, which is just, it's refreshing to get that variety.
It's really awesome. Got anything else to say before we close them
No,
up?
I'm pretty satisfied, except for the prices. But
Oh yeah, the price, that's another story. Yeah.
another video. No.
Yeah, no, those just to speak really, really quickly, like, the prices are, like, on the floor right now. Like, you should go on TCG Player and buy yourself. If you're interested in these clans, now's the time to buy. Because, my God, you can pick up a Grand Blue for, like, 40, 50 bucks, if that, from, like, the set.
What's Styline looking like? He should be money, right?
Not right now.
That's
It was like $8 or $9.
Wow.
So you can pick
What
up the
happened?
set.
This I remember this
It's-
was
it's
so
all the old support. Die Dragons are like 12, and
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
all the old stuff's expensive.
Ruin Shade is like
Yeah.
maybe 7, 8.
Yeah,
something.
Romario's up there. He's like 9 or 10.
Romario's
yeah.
13 last
Is he?
time I checked.
Wow.
So,
So
All right then.
yeah, so that's what.
Get your stuff now, then.
Yeah, so-
I'm over Mario.
I'm not sure when this is going up in what order, but get your stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is the time right now. Especially, I mean, it's always the time when the set drops to get your things. Like right at that first week, I would say, maybe 2 weeks when the release actually happens, not in the preview area.
Right.
That's always, I think, a really good time. Prices are good at around then.
Yeah.
So now's that time. We'll see when this video actually goes up, but that's when you should be investing in it. And by and large, closing remarks, EB08 was a success. And
Definitely.
honestly, if it's that cheap, I think the players are going to be happy too for them. You know, the
Yeah.
casual player is going to be happy to be able to pick up their stuff relatively cheaply.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, this is the three of us here, myself, the Irish God, the Magic Satchel, and the Immortal Greed, signing off on My Glorious Justice. Good job, Bushiroad. We're happy with what we saw. Thanks.